Hi everyone, it's Diane Evans with stampinwithdiane.com. I'm an independent Canadian Stampin' Up demonstrator here in the interior of British Columbia. So welcome to my live YouTube or my live Facebook. I'm so glad that you're with me. If you are through either one of those, make sure you've given StreamYard permission so that I can see who I'm talking to. And if you're through YouTube, make sure that you're subscribed just down below here. So I am sorry I'm a tiny bit late for my Technique Tuesday, but I'm so glad to be here. This is one of my favorite lives that I do. Just remember too that this is part of a live presentation. So if by any chance you're seeing that I'm speaking with different people, that's because that's part of the live. And if you don't like that, watch me on the replay and then you can just scoot on by. In any event, welcome. And I didn't even know that I'd be here on time. So a minute late's not bad, considering that I was still driving home from in town on a very, very snowy day. But I got here and I'm safe and sound and I'm ready to go. So let's just hope that everything is right on my video. If I lose sound, I got to just make sure I'm not going to lose any sound there. So I hope everything works out. So let's pop on down to my YouTube. Is there a bit of no, there was a bit of a static there, but I think I fixed it. Let's go down to my desktop. So this is Technique Tuesday. And the technique that we're doing today, excuse me, is watercoloring on vellum. Now, this is a technique I never even really knew existed. So I'm kind of excited about this one. I just played for a tiny little bit on it. I didn't really do much with it, but to see how it was actually going to work. And I'm really impressed. And I think you're going to see more, what you're going to see is more impressionable if you saw it up close. So I'm going to try to show you those different things. Hello, Lila and Judy, Kay, Pam, Lorraine and Lila. Oh, I'm so sorry that you have to leave so early, but you can watch it on the replay. And Lynn, you're from freezing Michigan. Well, we have snow and we're supposed to have snow warnings, so who knows what's going to happen. In any event, this is episode number 86, and this is watercoloring on vellum. Now, there's lots of different techniques for coloring on vellum. You can do it with your alcohol markers. You can do it with your Stampin' Right markers. You can do it with ink and that sort of stuff, but this is a little bit different and it gives you a tiny bit different look to it. Like I say, it's new to me. You need to take an outline stamp. So I took this Enduring Beauty. Now this stamp set is in the new catalog, but it comes with different dies that come along with it, and it's got stencils. But this is the perfect stamp to do this type of a technique because it's quite open. I tried doing it with the stippled rose, and actually that's where I just quickly went and did it. Oh, Lynn, your aunt lives in Port Alberni. Well, Port Alberni is probably about 8-9 miles away from here. It's on Vancouver Island, and it's on that terrible road that takes you from Nanaimo to the other side of Vancouver Island. But a neat place to live. Vancouver Island is a neat place to live, but when you live on the island, you stay on the island. In any event. Okay, getting back onto this technique. So I thought I'd use this. And then these are the new Stampin' Right markers. Now, these are the actual new ones. They actually have changed a little bit. The ends have changed just a tiny bit. So I'm going to be using a hybrid of my old ones and my new ones as well. So what you need to do is, like I say, make sure that you have an outline stamp like that. We're going to use, the colors we're using today are Fresh Freesia. We're going to use Highland Heather. We're also using Bubble Bath. I'm also going to use Lost Lagoon and also the Soft Sea Foam. So I'm using all of the colors from the Subtles collection, which is kind of neat that at least I'm keeping it to one collection, right? All right. So what we need to do, and this is such a big stamp. It really is a big stamp. It won't fit onto that other stamp. It won't fit onto the smaller block. So you need to do this. And so what I'm going to do is I have a piece of vellum. Now our vellum is a cardstock vellum. It's quite thick of a vellum. So it works quite well. So I'm going to, as I always do, because you're going to have to actually go in and you need to heat emboss this, because I don't like using stays on, first of all, because we're using water. So we need to have something that's going to work okay with water. I don't like using stays on my photopolymer stamp sets. It's okay once in a while, but don't use it too often. Apparently it deteriorates the stamp. Apparently, I'm not going to stick to that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Versamark. I think what really deteriorates a stamp is the cleaner. So, and we're not using cleaner on this. I'm going to be using water on this particular one. So I'm just going to take this. And like I say, it's kind of a hard stamp to stamp. Oh, and I should be using, I know I've got it on this desk. I should be using my mat on here. But you know what? In the case that I don't have it handy, oh, I do. I'm going to do it on a mat. So I'm just going to come in. It's just because it's photopolymer, right? And we're just going to stamp down and get a really good cover with that. Hello, Felicia. So we're just going to do that. Now, I could use white embossing powder, but I'm going to choose to use gold embossing powder. I think that's going to work quite well with this particular one. Let's move that out of the way. I'm going to come in with my gold embossing powder, and I'm just going to take, let's see, I usually do this with a piece of cardstock. So let's just use some cardstock here. This is a big stamp, so you don't want to miss any spots. But also what you don't want to do is get it all over the place. And that's a nice clean image, just maybe a tiny little bit here. And we've got a bit there. Just flick it, and we've got the rest of that off. Now this, like I say, it has a die cut with it, and I'm going to actually die cut on it. I'm not going to do it on screen. I actually have it done ahead of time. So we're just going to come in and let's just heat set this. So if any of you tried this technique before, like I say, it's new to me. I didn't even think about watercoloring on vellum. Like I say, there's so many different techniques with vellum. There's stained glass. But I do like this effect, because I've already seen parts of it. And I'll just show you part of this, and then I'll finish it up on the one I've already started. Now, vellum does tend to curl. You want to be very quick when you're doing the embossing on it. You don't want it to be so it curls. But I will warn you right now that with the watercoloring, it's going to curl more. Right, so we have that like that. Now, the thing that you do is we want to heat set that. Now we're going to pick coordinating colors of these Stampin' Write markers. Like I said, I am using the Fresh Freesia, the Bubble Bath, the Highland Heather. I'm also using Soft Sea Foam, and the Lost Lagoon is what I'm using. You're also going to have a water painter. And I didn't have the water in the barrel. I'm just using the water from another piece of excuse me, just out of another tube there. So you don't have to water it ahead of time. All you have to do is we're going to take, and I'm going to start with the lightest color, and I'm going to color all of this flower. Now, we may have to work in smaller batches, but we're using the brush end. And now what we're going to do is come in with some water. We're going to dab it on some of our paper towel. And then I'm just going to come in. And this is going to kind of give it a bit of a wash. And you're not going to see too much of the effect with the first color. But it does have a wash look to it. All right, so we want that kind of dry. Hello, Lori from Saskatoon. It is warming up. It is pretty with the embossing. Now I'm going to come in with the fresh freesia. Remember, I've dried that or just dabbed it. I'm going to come in to get a tiny bit more color in here. I'm just going to show you the one flower. Again, we're just going to come in and we're just going to get some, just putting some, we want some water to give it that, where it's going to start, we're going to push those colors, right? So now you can kind of see it's starting to look a little bit. So let me just bring that up to the thing. See how it's now starting to be a little mottled or watercolor look, right? And then I can come in now with my Highland Heather. I didn't dry that, but that's okay. And then, but see how that's starting to go like that. Now, when I come in with my water now, I am just going to just dab some water and get it to spread. It makes you kind of look like an artist. And then we can keep going back in until we get the look that we want. I really like how this has gone over on this side over here. You can kind of see it. Now, I've already gone ahead and started doing some coloring, so you don't have to watch me color the whole thing. Now, I've got this already done like this. We're going to go in and I'm going to finish up the flowers and see how this curls. So this is going to be really important that we get that secured down. So again, we're going to put the bubble bath. And we're going to put a bit up here. I'm going to do the water. Whoops, lost the lid there. Some water here. And I can let that kind of naturally dry because I'll go on to the next flower. Honestly, you should see this up close. It's so pretty. I'm going to come back in with some more of that water. And that's going to dry. Got some more of the bubble bath. We've got a bud there. This is one of those ones that you can spend as much time as you want on your watercoloring or as least amount of time as you want. So see, we've got that kind of going. Oh, we got that bud. Now I want to come in with the fresh freesia on these now. And I'm using the brush tip. And all I'm trying to do is get more of a graduated type look on there. Back here. And again, with our watercolor. So this one I'm kind of, I'm just dabbing the water on because I want kind of it to flow its own way. And when you really start seeing the colors is when I put the darker color on. Oops, this one had a flower up here that I missed. And then let's just put some of this fresh freesia on there. Come in again, like I say, with some of the water. Oh my goodness. I really wish you could see some of this, how it's starting to look. Hello, Maribel from Puerto Rico. All right, so we're just going to dab that off a bit. And then we're going to come in now with our Highland Heather. Just need to get that a little drier. And this is when it really starts to show. So come back in with the water. And we're just going to just push that up just a bit. We'll see how that's starting to look. I really wish you could see it a little bit better. All right, then when it comes to the leaves, oh my goodness, I better put these lids back on here. I am using the soft sea foam for the leaves, and I'm doing the whole base of those leaves. And I might as well do all of them. This has got a bit here, and I forgot I need to have some of this done in the purple. There we go. So I'm going to come in with that water painter again, dab some of that water off. We just want that flowing. That's the beauty of watercoloring. It just flows. You know what? I see that this kind of needs a bit of purple on it. Okay, now we want to dab all that off. The trick is going to be to get this good and flat, right? All right, so then I came in on the leaves, and this is where you'll really see. Oh, here we go. So I'm just sort of going in on the veins. I'm just going to do a little bit at a time. This you'll probably see a little bit more. But oh my goodness, look what that does with the, I can't even see that. What that does with the leaves. Really is pretty. And then let's come and do this one as well. Now, I guess I could try. So I'm just pushing that water out and getting that mottled look. So see how that's starting to look. Now, if I wanted to, I could probably come in and it might work okay with the Gorgeous Grape. So let me try the Gorgeous Grape. I'm kind of a little leery because it is quite dark, but I do have this one. So let me try it on this one first. So if I have a tiny bit of the Gorgeous Grape, let's just see how that works with that, because it's so important sometimes to just give this a try. So see how that's, oh wow, maybe we need to have that purple on there. Let's see how that works. I'm going to put some purple on it. Why not? Just with our water. And I think the difference between like a blend and with the blends and these markers is the whole difference is that you can push these it flows better with the water, where before you'd have to use the alcohol, and once it's set in there with a blend, it's kind of set, right? So there we go. We might want to just push this a little bit more. Oops. There we go. All right. Let's just put those lids back on there. It's so fun. Oh, that's because when I always push down on my markers on my lids to make sure that they're good and closed. All right. So there is that color. Now, with this particular one, you definitely need to have a white background on it. Let me see. I've got one of my markers has the lid on the floor. So let's just put that in there. Okay, so I'm just going to move that water out of the way. And what we're going to do then is we are now going to use glue dots to get this in place. Now, when I cut this one out, what I did was I cut out the white right underneath it so that I know it's going to be in exactly the right spot. And you need to have that white on there. If I went and I put that on this color here, well, that's a different color too. But I want the white, I want it to show. So I'm just going to come in, turn it over. It'd be so nice if I could iron it, but of course we can't. And I'm going to bring in my glue dots. Let's see. I might take your pick tool. It has all the wrong ends on them. They have scoring ends on them. So I'm just going to actually come in and just use my poker. And we're just going to do that. Oh, I just thought of something that I could make. If I can get my 3D printer going. So I'm just going to get this. And these aren't going to show because one, I'm putting where it's fairly dark. Plus also it's embossed on there. So these pieces are going to be okay. But I want them to really stick down onto that piece of cardstock. So see how well this went and looked on there. Oh my goodness, that's so pretty. You've got to like watercoloring, of course, but it kind of makes you look like an artist. Hello, Colleen. Okay, what I'm doing is I did watercoloring on vellum, which just shows you can use your Stampin' Up markers on your vellum. We're doing Enduring Beauty. And now what I'm doing is I'm getting this down so that I can stick this down onto my piece that I cut. So like I say, this Enduring Beauty comes with the ones with stencils and the die cuts. But of course, you can also go ahead and just stamp it. Let's see how that's going to work on that piece. So this is just going to go here. Just like that. And this white cardstock is going to even or make that. Wow. Guess we're going to have to add some more glue dots. I use a lot of glue dots on this, but I think it'll be worth it. And I think the card will look quite pretty with it. So let's just put there. And then it's going to be right down to that white card base. I'm okay using this many glue dots just to make sure it stays down. That's vellum for you, right? I guess the other way would have been was to leave it so it's flat, but there, oh my goodness. Oh, you guys, I really wish you could see this in real life. Because I look up at the screen and I don't see the same thing. Okay, so let me show you this. Now, whoops. So let's show you up close. See how that's just gone and given us a subtle color, and it's given like a, well, it's definitely a wash. Now I do have some bubble bath that I thought would look so pretty with this card. And then I also thought what might be really nice is to be able to use the soft, soft seafoam. I thought the two colors, the pink and the soft seafoam, look so nice together. This almost reminds me of an Easter card. You know what I mean? So, yeah. All right. So I am actually going to use this ribbon that I used the other day that I went and I colored. And I'm just going to wrap this around here. We're going to do a faux bow on this. Yes. So let's just come here. Oh, thanks, Kath. Definitely very, very, very soft cards, soft colors. But like I say, try watercoloring. Just think of it too, if you're using vellum, and do it with a sea scene or that sort of stuff. This would look so nice, this technique, with water and that sort of stuff. Well, there we go. And then we're going to turn around and put this right on top of that. Maybe we should do this scored down. Ah, thanks, Myrtle. What would it look like on black? Well, we could definitely show you what it would look like on black. I think if the color, it wouldn't go quite through, but this would be quite pretty. It would really show up the color itself. But I wanted a soft, muted card. I'm really drawn to those colors. The only color that we used outside of the color family was that gorgeous gray. So this piece is 3.5 by 4 3/4. Let's go ahead and put this here. I'm going to kind of put it off to the side, I'm thinking. Let's put that faux bow in here, and then we can work around it. If Urbina was on here, she'd say, of course you got to use ribbon. Okay, so oops, I cut that the wrong way. All right, so we can go ahead and put this on with dimensionals. And we're using a lot of that sort of stuff, aren't we, today? Overkill, right? And let's just take that off. Like I say, there's that done like that. It's pretty hard to tell on the video. Hopefully I can take a really good picture and you'll see how that works as well. All right, so, and I just went and lost my label that I was going to do. This particular stamp set has some pretty amazing sentiments on here as well. Let's come in with another thing here. So if you like this, give me the thumbs up. Remember that this PDF is going to be tomorrow. It's going to be at 9:05. I'm going to cut this down. All right. There we go. And then, excuse me. Now I did that in gold. Now, this also goes on the inside. There's nothing really to go on the inside here, but look at all these sentiments. So I am thinking, I do not know where that sentiment layer went. Can't believe you can go ahead and lose this stuff. Now, also in this particular die things, there's some of these die cuts, and actually I'm going to use them. I thought, well, maybe I don't need them, but I think I do. This comes with the Enduring Beauty. Like I say, this is the bundle itself. Comes with stencils. It comes with the stamp set, and it comes with the dies. There we go. And put one more down there. So these are the dies that they come with them as well. And that I had that cut out, so I don't know where it is. I'm going to have to just wing it, right? There we go. So, like I say, you're not really seeing what the whole look is on there, but it is really, I think it's pretty anyway. So let me just see if I've got my thing over here. And I do not know where it went to. That's no good. You're not going to see the finished card. Well, let's just grab some bubble bath. And I'm thinking that this die might be too big. Oh, it'll be okay. It'll fit the, definitely fits the sentiments that are there. Just going to come in with my mini cut and emboss. With my mini cut and emboss, I always use plate number 3. I don't use the plate that they call for. I think it cuts through better. Oh, see, there you are, Robina. It had to have the ribbon, right? It is. Does it ever crack? What crack, Pam? I'm not sure what you're saying. Boy, I'm sure glad I moved that water. That would have been all over the place. Does it crack? I'm not sure what you're talking about. All right. So there's that die. Now, is there a way that I could do this without embossing? Because to me, it needs white embossing on there. But let's see what it would look. What about, see, these words are love endures all things. You mean so much. Holding you close to my heart, embracing the beauty of you. Well, I don't need any of those stamps, though. They are. Well, I guess that goes along with what it means, enduring beauty. This isn't helping me. What would I like to put on there? You know what? Let's go with Wishing You the Brightest Birthday from Cheerful Daisies. And I'm going to give this a try. And I'm going to do it in Gorgeous Grape. Let's see how that looks. That way, maybe I can get away with it. I could also do it in gold. But I think it would look better in color. I don't know if that's what she meant. The sounds of the vellum when you're coloring sound like it would crack. No, it doesn't crack at all. Not at all. No. Okay, so let's just put this here. Let's see what this looks like in the Gorgeous Grape. Just like that. See what that looks like. Oh, that works. And then that way I don't have to go and do more embossing. And what a great birthday card, right? So let's just go ahead. We could put it across there. Where should we put it? Here, across here, put it up here. I always seem to put everything down at the bottom. Berry Burst would have worked, but this Gorgeous Grape works because it kind of goes in. I think the Berry Burst would be a lot more red to it. That's kind of covering up the... You know where? It's going on the bottom. Just because I don't want to cover up that technique there. There we go. This is just going to go on here. And you know what would be perfect on here are some pink or purple embellishments. And I don't think we have any. Oh, Judy, we must have been thinking the right way because we both have that. All right. Oh, brother. Oh, you know what? This will work. These are the Tinsel 3 gems. These are the Fresh Freesia, and it's going to work on there. I'm sure it will. We're going to make it work. I thought maybe these new ones here would work, but I think this would work better. All right. So, oh, that does work good on that bubble bath, that's for sure. Whoops. put that, I've got to hold that down. There we go. And now what to do for the inside. This one doesn't have any good things on the inside there. I don't know what I'm going to do. I think it might be best with and these dies don't have anything either. They don't have really any, well, they have these flowers. You know what? I'm going to leave it this way to begin with, and then we can figure out. Like I say, that's got a funny light on it. So I don't know if you can see that. I'll move this light away and see. See? It is totally different than what it looks like on the screen. I look from my desktop here to the screen, and it looks totally different. All right, so if you like that, like I say, give me the thumbs up, share my video. I really do appreciate it. Remember, tomorrow at 9:05, this PDF will be on there, along with all the other 85 techniques that are on there. Remember, if you want a technique, you have extra leaves cut out. No, I don't, because they're right here. My leaves aren't cut out. I only did 3 lots, but that's a good idea too. I could have put the leaves in there, or I could turn around and even put, you know what I could do is I could just take this vellum. I could color on the vellum, get the water going, and then cut out these extra flowers as well. So there's another idea for us as well. All right. So this will be showing at 9:05. If you have any questions at all, please reach out to me. This will actually be on my blog on Thursday. It's part of a technique. It's coloring with vellum. This, like I say, is watercoloring. You're probably going to see some stained glass on there. You might see some different things done with the alcohol ink as well. No, I don't. Yeah, I know. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, you guys. So tomorrow I have training at 3 o'clock, which is my normal mystery stamping time. So, and it does tend to finish right about 4 o'clock. So I'll be coming on live for my mystery challenge. I will have the clues go on there at noon, but I'll be probably coming on after the training. So I'm thinking closer to 4:15, but I'll try to be on as soon as I can. Remember, if you have any questions, do reach out. If you do live in Canada, I'd love to be your demonstrator. And don't forget about that fantastic join offer. No matter where you live, it's a great offer. And I just suggest that if you want a part of that glass mat, that you get it free. And in Canada, that's an $82 value. And if you're outside of, or you get a choice here of another $41 or $41 extra. I think the glass mat's the best idea. All right, you guys, have a great day. Remember to create because it's great for the soul. And we'll see you tomorrow around 4 o'clock. Bye for now.